Hi, I'm Alexa, and I'm struggling for a topic this week. I have so many thoughts in my head that I don't seem to be able to focus on any one of them. And that's okay. Um, we have an ice storm moving through the Midwest today, yesterday, and today, and that meant that basically I wasn't leaving the house today, even though I had certain things pre-planned. Um, I had to look ahead and adjust some of the stuff. I did an errand yesterday that I normally wouldn't rush to do after work. Excuse me. Um, and I've got some stuff I can do tomorrow as long as the roads are clear. I looked outside the window this morning. It was sometime between 11 and noon. It might have been closer to noon, but sheet of ice. Could see it from my second floor window, like all the road, all of the sidewalk, just a sheet of ice. I was like, I am so glad I am not leaving my house. I'm so grateful we've had cold weather this past week. It warmed up today. It's finally warmed up a little bit. The ice rain has been turning into just rain more than icy rain. Um, But it was really cold, like high of 5 or 6 or something one of these days. I don't know. Maybe that was the when I went out, it was that much. But despite that's not the point. The point is it was just really cold, and I was so grateful to have an apartment that is and I get this way every year. Like, I'm so grateful to have an apartment, and in the summer when it's super hot and I have the AC on and I'm so grateful. I do this thing where, like, if my I start feeling a little cold, I'll, like, go downstairs and I'll open the door and I'll be like, "Oh, no, that's cold. This is warm upstairs in the heat," and, sort of give myself that in the summer, obviously, I go out and it's hot out and then it's cold upstairs again. Just that sort of basic, appreciation for what I have, for where I am, for the relative safety that I have. We are living in some of the safest times in history in terms of medicinal advancements, in terms of the stability of the nations that we live in, a lot of us. There's obviously more turbulent areas than others. We are living in times with very established, uh, like law procedures. And I think a lot of us and I'm human too, we can get overwhelmed by the news cycle. We can get overwhelmed by the absolute size of some of the problems that are going on in the world. And it can be tricky to not let that get us down. It can be tricky to not let our emotions lead our words. It can be tricky to not become hurt when people can't understand our point of view. It can be tricky for a lot of different reasons. And I've also been watching, I don't know how it happened, but the algorithm is giving me a whole bunch of Ted Lasso clips. And I knew I would enjoy the show. People were like, you have to watch it. And I was like, I'm going to wait until all of the third season came out. I'll watch all 3 seasons. And then because I don't have Apple subscription, I'm like, I don't watch them enough to have all of the subscriptions, so I just buy the one I want for the month or whatever that I need it. I have a couple I have constantly. Um, they're the ones I watch the most, so those are the ones I have and I keep. But I watched the whole show, and there's so many good little quotes out of it. There absolutely are. And I'm glad that some of these clips have come up for me. And it really sort of reiterates this idea of getting back to basics. We are all human. We all are taking the actions we're taking because of something we're feeling or something we're not feeling, like not having enough of. Um, and there've been other examples that are just in my personal life, in my professional life, people I work with, people I'm friends with, whatever it is, where taking that deep breath and getting back to basics is going to help us. And I've done this. I believe I shared that I had last week. I'd put myself on Do Not Disturb. I had made a list of the things that I knew I could get done that day, that I wanted to get done that day. I organized it by easy to cross off, will take me longer, absolutely has to be done. So, like, move them around. And I did. I got through a whole bunch of stuff and it felt so sort of refreshing and like, oh, that weight is off my shoulders. I got that stuff done. And that simple concept of, we'll just focus at what you can do today, right now, right here, right? This idea of right now, like you may not be okay right now. There's an influencer, Christina Cosmic, and she says add right now to things. And I think that that's a really great way of looking at stuff. I feel hurt right now. I'm overwhelmed right now. It helps your brain remember that being overwhelmed or being upset or being busy right now doesn't mean you're always going to be those things. And this concept that I've sort of had hammered into me, I feel like it from the universe in the past couple weeks, has been this concept of right now, back to basics right now. What can you do right now? What needs to be done right now? What can you do right now? How can you do it right now? Like, are there things that we could do that would, I want to say benefit us, but I wanted to clarify that benefit is not just like it gets you something material or monetary or like puts you ahead of other people if you're trying to get a job or like whatever it is, or make a name for yourself, whatever, right? A benefit can be, it helps you relax. It makes you smile. You laugh, you enjoy yourself. We have to have those good things, those moments of levity in our life as well. So what can you do right now that gets you something that benefits you? And as again, that can be what can relieve your mood, what can make your shoulders not hurt, what can take a headache away or whatever, right? Um I definitely got a heck of a lot of pressure from the cold air front that has come through, and then the switch today very quickly to higher 20, 30-degree swing in temperatures. Um, so what can I do right now to alleviate that, right? There's always something we can do, and I want to very clearly state, taking rest is doing something. Intentionally resting is doing something. You are resting and you are giving your body what you need. It's not I'm doing nothing. You are doing something specifically to give yourself that relief, that relaxation. Um, but what are the basics, right? And I don't really, I had a lot of different thoughts today on what I could talk about. I actually have a bunch of tabs open on some topics that I have wanted to do videos on, and I want to do them justice though. Um, but at least, like, to me, I was able to do some research today. I wasn't able to leave the house because of the storm. Uh, there was an event downtown, and I'm pretty sure they canceled it, but there was no way I was driving on icy roads. Uh, and it was all, I think they were gonna do, I don't know if the tree is already lit, but it was something to do with the holiday, and they had all vendors and crafts and stuff and whatnot, and I was like, "Oh, that would be really nice to go to." But instead of that, instead of feeling like I wasted a day because I didn't get to go out in the storm and it kept me home and this, that, and the other, I was able to do some other stuff, and maybe I don't do the video today on some of these topics, but I do now have those links ready for the future, for future videos. So to me, that was something I could do right now today that is helping me feel less pressure on the day of a video, right? So I've started this video multiple times because it's one of those days. It's one of those days where my brain is everywhere. This is what I can do right now today. But what I can also do, and what I have done, is take it back to the basics. Look ahead, make a plan, checklist. What do I need for these videos? And can I start finding these things now so that I'll have them when I'm ready to put that cohesive video together or those cohesive videos? So again, it's just going back to basics. And it does feel good that I have gotten some of those things. I'm so bad. I keep doing that. Just fidgeting with something. All right, you guys. If you made it this far, thank you. It's certainly not my most impressive video. I appreciate you being here and listening, and let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've ever consciously chosen to go back to basics to help with um, getting through a block or a tough time. I realized I was talking about Ted Lasso. I think that the concept of a team or a player, a football player, soccer, who is not doing well, one of the best things is go back to your basics. Go back to your footwork. Go back to putting a pass together correctly. Go back to, in a team role, making sure that your team is all on the same page and understands what you're telling each other, right? Like, go back to the basics. Practice your corner kicks, practice your spot kicks, practice whatever it is you need to practice. Go back to your basics and remember why you started it. Now, becoming a professional football player, a lot of people this is really extreme. They want to be out there in front of the crowds. They want to make the money. They want to have fun doing it. But genuinely, most kids play football and start playing football or other sports, soccer, not football. I'm not American football, though soccer is what I'm talking about. Um, but any sport, most kids play it because they enjoy it and they have fun with it. And the minute you lose the fun, it becomes a chore. It becomes harder to do. And that going back to basics and remembering why you started can always help all of us. And you can apply that same concept in all of your areas of your own life, but then you can also help others if you are even you don't have to have a title to be a leader, but you can help people in your life at work, friends, whatever, with these same concepts of uh, basically coaching. What makes a great coach? What helps other people? Sometimes you'll ask people, what do you think they should do? And they'll tell you. But simply by telling it out loud to you, I know, I should be doing this. Oh, okay. It helps them. It's helped me doing that when people have let me talk it out, my whatever I was going through. It's so fascinating. The principles of a good coach can be applied across our entire lives. And the number one thing that I see with coaching when someone is struggling is go back to the basics. So that's what I got for you today. I'm glad I remembered to say that because I'd have posted this and be like, I totally forgot about that analogy. And I'd be a bit upset with myself. But this is what I got for you today. This is what I got. I hope it gave you something to think about. I appreciate you being here. If you like, drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And I will see you on the next one. If you are anywhere with this bad weather, I genuinely hope you are staying safe and warm and comfortable, and be kind to yourself.